The scene of the Werribee Centrals Football Club's home ground. It's Tuesday night grand final Saturday between Werribee Centrals and Bannockburn. We've got the coach of Werribee Centrals, Mick Foster, with us. And Mick, you're obviously a low-key approach through the final series. What's in store on Saturday? You're obviously your three tools in the forward line are obviously key to winning the match, but your midfield's been in great form also.
Yeah, we'll just play it the way we've been playing most of the year. As you said, we're pretty low-key down here, and our forwards will trouble, I think, and our midfield hopefully matches Bannockburn's.
What sort of weather you're hoping for on Saturday?
I'd like it dry. I'm sure Bannockburn would too, but I'd like it dry, and it doesn't really worry us. Everyone's got to play in it. So.
Very underrated back line. Gareth Buck has been named the GDFL fullback of the year. I mean, he's had a great season, but fairly underrated. Most of the people in Geelong probably wouldn't have heard of many of the guys in the back line, but they've done a fantastic job.
Yeah, our back line, obviously, I think we're pretty strong all over the ground, but Gareth, I think he's nicknamed the Sheriff these days or something. And even the back, the whole back line, Carl Smith, Justin Morley, and Glenn Height, the centre half back. Kevin Warwick, even, who no one probably even heard of down there, and Andrew Hawkes. They're our six who do start there mainly, and they've been great all year. They've probably been our most consistent, back to forward, their backs all year, so been very consistent.
Good luck for Saturday, and we'll be with Bannockburn coach Stephen Winner next. Of the 1997 GDFL Grand Final. It's a Tuesday night, and Bannockburn have just completed their training session in the lead up to that match. They're playing Werribee Centrals on Saturday, and we've got the coach of Bannockburn, Stephen Winner, with us. And Stormy, pleased to get a run on the ground before Saturday's game?
Yeah, it was quite good. I think every other finals team's had a run on the ground during the lead up to the finals, and we're quite lucky that Vice President and President of St Albans let us have a run on it. So it's good.
The team on Saturday had a good win over Thompson. Obviously, when you went into the second semi-final, it wasn't probably going to be in your mind that you were playing in the prelim, but it's probably turned out okay that you had a good hit out on Saturday.
Oh, well, we played very ordinary against Werribee. They deserved to win that game. Against Thompson last week, I think we were more focused, and hopefully this week we can be players just as good as last week.
The key for you guys on Saturday to beat Werribee?
Well, I don't think we've really got any keys. I think it's just...
pretty strongly. I mean, they showed against Thompson, they finished strongly. Bannockburn and Werribee played there a few weeks back in some shock and windy conditions up there at Werribee, and Bannockburn got a big start, 7 or 8 in the first quarter, and Werribee slowly but surely wore them down, and I think in the end just fell short there at the end of it. So I think from that point of view, that it would be a bit of a worry in the coach Stormy Winter's mind and his players' mind that if Werribee do get a good start, and knowing that they do finish strongly towards the end of the game, that could be a bit of a worry. So, I'd expect to see Bannockburn very, very strong at it at the early part and try and take the initiative early.
Now, what we want you to do, guys, is we want Stewie. Can you just look at Bannockburn's side and their setup, and we'll go a couple of minutes into the game and see how they go. Pete, you look at Werribee and see where they're setting up with different guys. We've seen that. We've seen Scotty Johnson, Dennis Cunningham, and also Simon Calvert has gone to the bench for Werribee, and the two Harding boys and Nigel Tresize, as last week, went to the bench for Bannockburn. So we'll see how they go. Now, selections this afternoon. Stewie, quickly.
Well, I've got down in the record here, I've got West by 15 points, and the missus has got Werribee by 20, so either way, it's going to be an unhappy household.
Pete?
Bannockburn 11.
Bannockburn by 8.
Well, I'm going for Werribee by 12 points as we start the 1997 Senior Grand Final in the GDFL. Barry Delaney with the first kick, and he gets it over the top to Vilchins. He handballs it towards Robbie Edgar, who gets a left foot kick towards full forward. Coming out quickly, Spicer goes up. Good roving at the front of the pack, Kevin Connors. He gets a left foot out towards the wide open spaces on centre wing. Bernardo and Colliger go at it, and Troy Colliger and Adrian Bernardo set over the boundary line for the first throw-in of the day.
Gentlemen, the wind advantage, if any,
very negligible, I think.
I would think so. Blowing sort of across the ground towards our commentary box here on the wing half-forward flank grandstand side. Perkins in the middle, gets it to Connors, to Matty Pilgrim. Matty Pilgrim on centre wing, shepherded well by Butch Shaw. Goes towards centre half-forward, Stormy Winner. Up against him, Warwick. Good punch away, Kevin Warwick. East through also, Darren Rowath. He comes through. He's got support, Colliger coming. Chris Delaney, great work. Colliger and East. And East is in there. It's held to Matty East. And he will give the ball to umpire Greg Neal. The umpires in the middle this afternoon, Neil and Mark Nolan, and we wish them all the best this afternoon. Also, the men in white, Stewart and Perkins. Stewart gets it down to Barry Delaney, gets a kick straight up in the air. No 10 will be play on. They'll go for the punch. Colliger, good punch out too towards the open space of half forward. They can't keep it in, and it's out of bounds once again. So we'll have a boundary thrown at half forward. The Bannockburn side kicking to the Buckley's End.
Obviously won the toss, Jason.
The Buckley's End of St Albans Reserve, and Werribee to the City End, or East, ripped head off by Barry Delaney. And it's out of bounds. Right in front of the Country FM commentary box, you're listening to the 1997 GDFL Grand Final, live and exclusive on 89.1 Country FM. And Ronnie?
Off the ball, Ronnie Pilgrim and Glenn Height clashing. A little bit Tiggy Touchwood, but Glenn Height's come out smiling. He's got the footy, pumps it up the centre wing. Coming out, Alistair Broad. He was
Good
pushed
decision.
by Wilsons. Yes, good call umpire Nolan. He's picked it up, but there's also been an off-the-ball infringement, and young Stevie Gadd gets the free kick
on
for the
Luke
Bannockburn
Luddick there,
Tiger.
yeah.
No, I was right the first time. Broad, he's handballed to Pilgrim. It's only on a short distance. There's been a high tackle, whistle on play again, and emotions running rather freely here in the grand final. Early stages, time check, 3 minutes gone, as the ball now ends up with, it looks like Chris Delaney.
Delaney goes long towards half forward. It's over the back, Filchins, and also coming through the middle of the pack. Good play, Colliger. Keeps it in front of him. Then he gets wrapped up, gets the footy away. Gadd, there's a couple of Tigers in support. Gadd goes long towards the centre wing. There's nobody there for Bannockburn. Stormy Winner has to make up some ground. Stewart, good tap, but it's past Warwick, and Ronnie Pilgrim now has got an absolute panic. Have a bounce, Ronnie. He could have, but he gives it towards Habib, but it's not going to get to him, and it's out of bounds. And it'll be a boundary throw in 20 metres around from the Tigers' goal.
Stewie Scott, why don't they go down the corridor in that situation? Why kick it to the pocket?
Yeah, well, it's pretty wide open. I mean, they normally do work through the centre forward region, Bannockburn, and for some reason Jason's led towards the pocket, and they've gone there and it's gone out of bounds, and that's exactly what the backman would have liked.
Shaw gets it down towards Ronnie Pilgrim. Ronnie breaks away. Ronnie kicked the goal, son. Ronnie's kicked the goal. Tremendous.
He's made amends.
And Ronnie Pilgrim. And he's told the Werribee faithful all about it as well. The first goal for Bannockburn.
I'll just chip in there, guys. Something that there's a little board here in front of these two commentators that they mightn't have seen. An incident that happened in front of us. Glenn Height actually gave a couple of the Bannockburn boys a bit
Matthew
of a
East, I
rough
think.
Yeah, Matthew East, yeah.
And Ronnie Pilgrim ran from halfway across the ground just to say, hey, boy.
Hello.
You know, we're around too.
Bannockburn, 1 straight goal, 6 points. Although Werribee Central's yet to score on the LBW Charter Accountants first quarter scoreboard.
LBW supporting GDFL football. They'll take the stress and worry out of your taxation problems.
Back in the centre, Stewart, big thump away. Butch Shaw at the back of the centre square. He gets through a couple, then loses the footy. Sean Stewart's in there. Richie Corrigan as well. Trip, no free kick, still in the middle, pushed out towards Carl Smith, and in support Bernardo. He gets the run of the ball and gets a left foot kick around beautifully towards Robbie Edgar on half forward by himself. Rough Robbie Henderson makes up a bit of ground, but he takes the mark. Good kick towards Darlow.
The Donut King.
And Craig Darlow has taken the mark at half forward. It's play on now. He gets around Wentworth. Donuts. He's ripped off the footy. Goes towards Pilgrim. He can't, in fact, Wentworth, sorry. He can't pick it up. Now he does. Straight through. The Team of the Year back pocket player goes towards centre wing, and it's out of bounds for a boundary throw in on centre wing. Boys, quickly, some of the matchups, Stewie.
Yeah, well, I think Bannockburn are pretty well gone in stock standard. I mean, they haven't tried to change anything. I mean, I think they're obviously, from Winter's point of view, he shows a lot of confidence in his players and the positions they've played all year. Probably the one surprise I thought that maybe Clint Shaw might have been down in the back line picking up one of the taller foe from Werribee, but it's all out, obviously all out attack from the Bannockburn side.
Free kick to Butch Shaw quickly, Pete. Some the Werribee guys.
And I don't think Tillman has taken the ground.
No, he hasn't.
By the look of it.
Tillman's out.
Vilkins is lined up across the half forward line. And I think Strippercue has started in the centre of the ground, and Darlow's up forward
Well,
too.
the ball has come from centre wing. Matthew East has had 3 bounces. He's kicked, though, not a good one. Stevie Winter's got a panic. How he should have kicked, and he's put Habib under pressure. Poor choice, Stephen Winter. Should have kicked the goal. Roworth caught high, but you've held the ball too long, said umpire in Greg Neal. And the free kick will go to the Werribee Centurions. Last line of defence will be taken there, and I'd suggest it looks like Luke Luddick, a great half-back flanker, an attacking half-back flanker, brings the ball to the members' side. Bernardo dropped the easiest of chest marks, under pressure there from Habib, goes backwards to where, Luddick wrapped up, Darren Roworth, great tackle, umpire Greg Neal keeps the play allowed to continue as we see, Ronnie Pilgrim pick it up, hand pass, no, anywhere in particular. And Andrew Hawkes is happy to go out, and haven't the boys got the butterflies still?
The butterflies are there, but they're still running at the ball.
How's the class of Ronnie Pilgrim there to pick up?
Meetings on the one hand, just hanging out and just
easy as you like. No hassle.
Type of man when the numbers need to be stood up and counted.
Well,
be
the
handy to
ball's
have him.
come from height towards Bernardo. He goes towards Chris Delaney. Punched away from Gadd, and then the second effort was fantastic. Oh, Winner got a high tackle on Delaney. He wants to play on. Can he? No, he can't, umpire Neil says. And Chris Delaney will take the free kick at half back.
He was forward of his mark then, gentlemen.
Something a little bit critical. I can be critical this time of the year because I'm not playing for the rest of the year. Hopefully, umpies have a summer period. And get I think that it's one thing that we've really found this year is I think the person who's playing the ball has got to be protected a little bit more. And this holding the ball rule where the player brings it into his area. The player brings it into his area and the umpire pings him for holding the ball, and someone takes the easy option to stand out and say, I'll grab his jumper when someone tries to make the play.
Brenton Vilsons has taken a beautiful overhead grab there at centre wing. He's just played on and chipped it to the corridor where another midfielder has got possession. Robbie Edgar it is. Wobbly old punt kick up the centre half forward. Oh, but luck's the fortune. The ball dropped short. Heath Buck in
Luck
front.
the buck.
And Luck the Buck has, and I'll tell you what, that's a bit of a tongue twister, Jason Doherty.
Tell you what, you're almost backing for me.
Well, he's kicking from 55, but unselfishly
look
gives
at
it
this.
across to Carl Smith. Play on, son! He heard me, Brian. And Carl Smith, you are a legend. You've kicked your goal from half-back. Great play, Centurions.
Ronnie, chairman of selectors of the team of the year, he reckons, and he's coaching Werribee now. Fantastic.
Did you like my selection?
Oh, tremendous.
Very
Fantastic.
different, wasn't it?
Very different. One straight goal apiece here in the 1997 GDFL Grand Final. Werribee Centrals kicked the first through Carl Smith. Ronnie Pilgrim, the first goal of the match, and one goal to Bannockburn on the LBW Charter Accountants first quarter scoreboard.
Apparently Greg O'Bray, our physiotherapist from the GDFL, and Jason Doherty have picked up a bit of money there from Phil Knott.
Phil Knott's a fantastic man, isn't he?
As Ronnie Pilgrim first goal of the day.
Back to the centre. Stewart goes up early against Perkins, who started in the ruck last week in the prelim, and he started there again today. Goes through Robbie Edgar, breaks through the pack now. He's on centre wing. Measures the pass towards half forward. Spicer waits for it. Goes past him. Wentworth now. They'll have a great tussle, those two. Spicer over the top of Wentworth. It's 1 against 1 here, and Wentworth does well.
He kicks today on Wentworth.
Oh,
There's no
isn't he
doubt
a
about
great
that.
player?
He is certainly
The
going to...
Chicken Hawk. Unusual nickname they've given him because there's no chicken on this boy.
Listen, Ronnie, the only I'd rather rival with Wentworth is Mick Galauka from Werribee Centrals. What's happened with
He
that?
played in the twos today,
Played
and he
twos.
played a very good game too. Ronnie, you'll be happy to know.
I love him.
Kick across half forward for Werribee, going up. Oh, good one. Butch Shaw. Oh, handball though, chopped off by Warwick. He has to work back against Warwick, who did very well to bottle it up at centre half forward for the Centurions. He tried to get the ball over the top to Matty East. They couldn't do so.
Hope you're enjoying the call on Country FM. 89.1 is Country Football on guest video here this afternoon, live at St Albans.
9.5 minutes gone in the first quarter on the Bannockburn Sporting Trophies. Time clock comes out towards Perkins. Kick off the ground by Broad to the wide open spaces of centre wing. Bernardo leads Corrigan in the race for the footy. Good pick up though by Corrigan. He got towards Bernardo. Got his kick away towards Edgar. Bernardo, second effort was good. Went through the middle of the pack. Butch Shaw is also there. Tries to tap it to the advantage of Perkins.
Yeah,
great
great
shepherd,
work.
Corrigan. Corrigan shepherded for Perkins, who gets it towards Clint Shaw. Height from behind. It's 1 against 2. There's no easy kicks in this GDFL Grand Final today. But there's one there for Clint Shaw. Height too high.
I think the first time wasn't there, the second and third were.
I think he could have paid the mark there.
And Clint Shaw will kick across the ground. Good vision too towards Chops Connors. Kevin Connors in the middle of St Albans reserve. Goes towards the lead of Roworth, who's a very good mark. Oh, and it is again. He's taken a great mark in front of Andrew Hawkes.
Yeah,
The miracle, isn't he a miracle man, this bloke? I've got to call him the rubber man. He could seem to stretch and bend his body in all sorts of funny places. And how did he catch that?
Yeah, for a bloke of his size, I mean, he's fantastic. And probably looking at it, Rowie, he'd probably be pretty stiff as a chief goal sneak in the team of the year. I mean, he's done very well over pocket this year. I mentioned last week that Bannockburn over previous years have probably tried to work through centre half forward and then go to full forward, maybe with a bit of short chipping. But of this year, they've actually worked through the centre a little bit more, from the wing to the centre, and they've gone the long kick and put the thing into their forwards to give them the goals.
Well, Roworth kicked his first goal straight through the middle of the goals for his first, and Bannockburn second. Their 2 straight goals, 12 points. They lead Werribee Central's 1 straight goal, 6 points on the LBW Charter Accountants first quarter scoreboard.
Glenn Hyde just needs to control his emotions a little more, I'd suggest, from a Werribee Centurion point of view. An unnecessary free kick, a very costly one in the final analysis, gentlemen.
Bit of a ploy with Butch Shaw running from the back of the square into the centre of the ground. Usually starts in the middle, but he's running off the back, maybe with the dominance of Stewart maybe in the middle. He may be running off there to get an extra possession or two. It's bottled up again for a secondary bounce just on the attacking side of the square for the Tigers.
It is grand final footy though, isn't it? And I suppose if you've got to wear them, you wear them.
Perkins gets a high tackle, gets the ball away to Connors. He's ripped off it. Kevin Warwick at the back goes towards the measured pass to Vilchins at centre half forward. Oh, good mark. Two grabber diving. Great work in front of Alistair Broad. And Stewie, they've started him at centre half forward by the
Yeah, he
looks.
started up at centre half forward, which is they probably haven't done all year. He's usually started between full forward and centre half forward as that either long option or they use Buck as the one-on-one in the square type thing.
They got Matheson in the forward line,
Yeah,
full forward.
That's not a bad call, but look, after taking such a nice mark, he really mucked it up then, did Vilsons, with a terrible kick. It's now out of bounds, half-forward flank, left side or members' side of St Albans.
Broad gets it down to Gadd. Slick handball to East. He got it to Stormy Winner. Has to get around a couple. Then doubles back onto his right boot. Goes towards the towards Perkins and also Corrigan. Perkins wrapped up by Kevin Warwick. Good tackle. And sees it over the boundary line for a throw-in on centre wing on the members' side.
Yeah, just with that, Ronnie, I mean, it's sometimes, I mean, you like to try something different to try and put the opposition off, and you might try Matheson at full forward. And I thought that maybe he should have given us a bit of a lead, led out to the 40-metre line, and let Vilsons play through because he's kicked goals from there all year.
Yeah, certainly has, as the pack of players off form. Oh, Matty East, he's as easy as you like. Ooh, and there's a little bit of fracas behind the play.
There it is again.
Lovely work, Matty East, beautiful pass. And he's on the right side, though. His opponent in Hawks needs to wake up. The Bruisers bringing the ball into the corridor, and Hawksy, you're on the wrong side, son. Basic stuff, as we see now. Bannockburn, Matty Pilgrim got the loose ball. He's got time to steady from 55. Chips it into the pocket. Matty Pilgrim, you're colourblind. He's hit it down the throat of Glenn Hyde.
Height goes towards the outer side. Barry Delaney has to run back with a fly to the foot. He takes a good mark at half back. Standing the mark, Connors gets it around the corner quickly towards Stewart, and the big man takes it in between half-back and the wing. Plays on quickly onto that loping left boot, goes towards centre half forward, and Buck gets back, gets a hand to it, can't take the mark. Vilchins on Winter. Winter, little toe poke out towards half-back. Luddick there also against rough Robbie Henderson. Henderson's over the top. Luddick over the top also. Pack develops at half forward on the outer side, and umpire Neil will come in and bounce the ball.
14 and a half minutes gone of the first quarter.
Just one thing, guys. I know at the end of the game you always look for excuses. I hope there is not an excuse if Bannockburn lose. Twice they've passed the ball to Habib, and twice he hasn't been able to make it. And I think if he didn't have a bad leg, he might have made two of those marks.
Well, Stewart's got the footy down towards half forward. Quick kick around the corner towards Matheson, one out, and Rose has got the job on him at full back. So that's an interesting selection for Bannockburn. Matheson over the top of the footy now, 35 metres out from the Werribee goal, City end of St Albans, and he's bottled up. Umpire Neil will come in, and Rose has played a couple of different positions the last couple of weeks. Last week centre half back, this week full back.
Big ask.
Big job for a young bloke. Real big job.
ask.
I think that he's a quality centreman. He's probably one of the quality centremen across the centre line in the league, and I think that come quarter time, if Bannockburn are in a bit of trouble, you might see
look at that. Christian Shaw to Ashley Perkins, and look at the big man. Evades Glenn Height, goes towards the lead of Jason Habib on 95 goals.
Premiership football for the Tigers.
We'll say one thing in Jason Habib's defence. He's going to earn every kick he gets today against Gareth Buck. Sensational fullback. He really is. For a big fella, he uses the ball well, and he gets to that many contests when you believe that he's not in that contest. He gets 5 or 6 metres behind, and he never relinquishes. And at the final minute, when the full forward relaxes, that's when Buck's at his best.
This will be the one. This will be the one. You have a watch.
Well, if he kicks this goal, he will go absolutely berserk. He's on 95 goals for the season, Jason Habib, kicking from 45 metres out, wobbly kick off the boot. Not going to make the distance. Tried to be punched through by Height still there. Clinton Shaw can't keep it in.
Did he pull back there, Peter? No, I don't think he really followed through real hard with that kick.
I think he might have a little problem.
I'm sure he has, gentlemen.
Well, he needs 5 goals to break the century mark this season as Height kicks in, but I'm sure he'll be happy with a premiership medal. I think that'll do him this afternoon. Comes out towards half-back. Carl Smith against Matty Pilgrim. Pilgrim keeps it in front of him, gets away from Chris Delaney, pushes it in front beautifully towards College. A handball in close quarters to Connors. His handball over the top. Habib coming out again. Tried to handball it to nobody in particular. Over the top again, Colliger and Clint Shaw. Clint Shaw, vision towards the coach.
Play.
Oh, the coach drops it. Bit of nerves there for the coach probably, but he's good enough to get back around. Short little kick, paw towards Clint Shaw. They're mucking about. They're going to lose out. Are they? Delaney got a trip, did he? Got a high tackle.
High tackle.
Chris Delaney will take it at centre half back for the Centurions.
Well, I can't believe what I just saw, but I did. And I would have thought that Stephen Winter would have known better.
It
but
was
didn't.
ordinary, Ron.
It was shocking. But let's get back to the footy. Chris Delaney has got the footy. He drives it to the centre of the ground. Back of the pack, a roughhouse or Robbie Henderson. Good work, Connors, who's been good early stages. Got it to Perkins, who's been terrific likewise. Good battle there, Hawks and
Four on
Roweth. But Hawks got it to the back of the pack there where Warwick mops up nicely. Goes short to Carl Smith, who gives it to the run of Hawks, who goes out to the outer side of the ground.
Gadd handball over the top towards Butch Shaw, sets him a bit of a task. Butcher, can he get back? He gets onto the left boot and short little kick in towards Clinton. Takes the mark outside 50, plays on quickly. Goes in towards Habib again, 2-on-1. Heights back there with Buck. And the struggle towards, well, Habib in fact got to the front of the pack, or the front of Buck there, but...
It doesn't so much for Garrick Buck's pace, does it really, when actually chasing Habib,
well,
to the ball.
he probably thought it was going to go out, so he slowed down a little bit. So it's going to be a boundary throw in. Winter in front of Height doing the ruck contest. Colliger roved. Barry Delaney against him. Ripped off the footy. Colliger, no free kick in the middle of there. Bernardo. He gets it out towards Justin Morley. He's out now and onto his left boot. Goes long towards Luddick. 2-on-1. East and Luddick. Look at that. East, did very well. Couldn't take the mark though. And a good contest between those two. Perkins in support for the Tigers as well. It's out of bounds on centre wing. And we've been playing 17 minutes of this first term. Bannockburn Sporting Trophies time clock. And it's the GDFL Senior Grand Final between Bannockburn and Werribee Centrals, live and exclusive on 89.1 Country FM.
Back of the pack, good work. Matty Pilgrim ran straight into Chris Delaney. Hand passed over the top. And I tell you what, young Gadd, he's got rubber soles on. He should be shot. I tell you what, anyway, the ball now is with Butch Shaw. Oh, brotherly love to Clinton. Clinton from 35 metres goes bang, bang, bang. Put down your glasses. Great goal.
Well,
I tell you what, Jason, Eddie Maguire wouldn't want to be here. I reckon if you did your statistics and found out how many times
hardball gets?
Bannockburn have gone into their attacking 50
I've lost count.
and have ballsed it up. Am I allowed to say balls up?
You've just said it twice.
Well, it's better than what Scotty said over here a minute ago.
Exactly. Well, 3-1-19 Bannockburn. Werribee Central's one straight goal, 6 points. LBW Chartered Accountants first quarter scoreboard. And Stewie, if you were Stormy Winner, you'd be pretty happy with the start.
Yeah, just an interesting point I was going to bring up was Stormy Winner taking the rucking contest in the forward line. And I think that's one area of the ground where you'd love to get your hand first on the ball rather than being a gator. I mean, you try and do that in the back line rather than being a gator. Try and get your hand on the ball first, get it to one of your rovers and try and pick up an easy goal.
Stewart got the tap down, but only as far as Matty Pilgrim. Connor's got the kick out of the midfield towards centre wing. And obviously a bit of a ploy from the guys also to maybe be reading Stewart a little bit because he's going to win the majority of the ruck contest in the middle. Obviously Stormy's spoken to the Rovers about running off them. That may be why he puts Shaw's off the back of the centre square.
Yeah, well, there's one thing you can do there with a dominating opposition ruckman is try and instruct your Rovers and your ruck Rovers to rove to him and instruct your ruckman to try and hit the ball to the same place to where Stewart's going to hit it so it's more predictable for your own players.
Comes out towards Scripter Q, can't pick it up. Delaney comes across to Shepherd for him, but he's wrapped up a second time and bottled up on centre wing for a ball up.
If Stewart was going to win all those kind of throw-ins from the boundary, why wouldn't you set a bloke at the back of the pack, though? Bannockburn have had no one at the back of 2 or 3 throw-ins from the boundary line.
Well, he wins it again and gets it down Corrigan, only as far as the boundary line, and it does go out for another throw-in on centre wing. It's 3-1-19. Bannockburn Werribee Central's one straight goal, 6 points. And
It's a very good point that Peter Walker's making. It's all very well winning the tap, but where does he put it?
You watch this time. Look at that. There's no one there.
well, Butch Shaw got the tap down in the end towards Matty Pilgrim and Ronnie. Ronnie comes through, tries to tap it to the advantage of Gadd. It's chopped off by Bernardo. He taps it to the advantage of Morley, gets another kick towards half forward. Vilchins against Broad. Vilchins does well, so does Broad, and then gets a little toe poke towards the boundary line. Does very well. Big task for Alistair Broad this afternoon, but he's probably the best man for the job, really, without Toolman there, isn't he, Stewie?
Yeah, I think the one thing with Alistair Broad's biggest thing he's got is he runs off his opponents, and I think he did that a couple of weeks ago against Werribee. He just didn't have the support down the field.
So it's bottled up on the half-forward flank for the Werribee side. So just a bit of a lull in play.
21 and a half minutes gone off the first quarter. Compliments of the Bannockburn Sporting Trophies and Pam and David Glover here enjoying the GDFL hospitality today. A special cheerio to them for their great support of GDFL footy in 97.
Thrown up by umpire Nolan. Vilchin's got the tap down only as far as the boundary line. The ground in perfect condition this afternoon, boys. Stewie, you'd be pretty happy if you were playing today on this sort of ground on St Albans Reserve.
You'd be laughing. It's very good. I went with walk across the ground when I first come in, and the surface is terrific. The rain during the week has just made it perfect for the fellas to wear probably either stops. And Ronnie had a bit of a go at the fellas before wearing the moulded soles, but I think it's conditions are good for both.
Perkins, good vision towards Matty Pilgrim at half-back, takes it, gives it towards Kevin Connors. He takes it off and goes towards the centre of the ground. Colliger comes out at pace. Can he take the second grabber? He can't do so. He's got support from Matty East, but Morley's there. Little kick towards half-forward again. Barry Delaney tried to get away from Corrigan. Works hard. The experience of Corrigan in there. Matty Pilgrim with a toe poke. Sean Stewart, just an indiscriminate kick across half-forward flank. Heath Buck against the couple. Butch Shaw's there. He needs a shepherd from Delahunt. He didn't get one in the first place, but Heath Buck fell over. It goes towards Matty Matty East now is on centre wing. Measures a pass towards Clinton Shaw. Height's going to have to stand a little bit closer to Clint Shaw. He kicked the last goal. He's taken this mark fairly easily on half forward.
Yeah, great anticipation there, Clinton Shaw, showing a clean pair of heels. He's out at half forward. Lovely long kick into the pocket. Winter is looking for in front. Knocked away there by Warwick. Loose ball now. Sees Habib come through like a train. But Hawks, the ball sits for him well. He goes across to Robbie Edgar in the last line of defence. His left foot kick, a beauty. Good vision to Carl Smith. Now Hawks butters up and takes the hand pass from him. Brings the ball to the members' side of the ground, but there's nobody home for the Centurions as Stephen Gadd. He can sit down and have a cut lunch. Fair dinkum. He hand passes now. Good work to Perkins. He's over the top to Corrigan, and Richie Corrigan took his time, had a look, and then saw Darren Rowe in the pocket. Can he get there? No, he can't. I think you'll find it's out of bounds. Great pressure there from Gareth Buck and also Andrew Hawks, who pushed him over
I think
line.
the confidence has gone from Richie Corrigan's game. I mean, he's very cool there. I mean, he didn't panic. I mean, when the ball, it spent a lot of time in the air, that ball, and he grabbed it and he regained his composure. The talk was good from there from the Bannockburn boys, but he possibly could have
Good player, handy player to come in late after a few injury problems. And a couple of games
Ronnie could have done a groin there, I think, Ronnie Pilgrim.
Well, I just did. But there's nothing wrong with me, really.
Well, it's out of bounds right next to the behind post. Bannockburn attacking to the Buckley's end of St Albans Reserve. And it's thrown in. Height and Shaw. Height in front gets it down to Robbie Edgar. Quick kick out of the pack towards the boundary line again. Matty Pilgrim and Richie Corrigan. And Corrigan sees it over the boundary line. 3-1-19. Bannockburn, Werribee Central's one straight goal, 6 points. It's 13 points of difference in the GDFL Grand Final.
24-minute mark of the first quarter. Bannockburn's sporting trophies time clock.
Thrown in again, Stewart and Shaw. Shaw from behind, double fister. Goes towards on hands and knees Warwick. Got it to Carl Smith. Short little kick to Bernardo. And the gloved one takes the mark, plays on quickly, measures the pass towards the Whitley medalist, Barry Delaney. He takes it. Oh, he was off too, but turned around, saw the umpire and said, I'm not playing on now. He will now, goes from half back towards half forward. Vilchins and Broad. Vilchins, the big body, the big frame, and he takes the big mark.
Yeah, lovely disposal, though, from the Whitley medalist. Set it up there for Vilsons. That's a better kick, a penetrating one up there looking for Matheson. He's well out of goal. Loose ball back of the pack. Delahunt, plenty of time to steady. Good work. He goes short and finds Butch Shaw.
Kick.
Beautiful.
I've got a pain in the heart. It hit me that hard. Anyway, Connors doesn't mind. He goes to half forward with the left foot kick, but on that occasion, Carl Smith beats Matty Pilgrim, drives the ball back to the centre of the ground. Loose ball now, Bannockburn, the runners. Matty East got the head pass there from Connors again.
Back.
Drives it up. Oh, great work on there from Habib. Corrigan said, thanks very much. Oh, he can't get a foot to it, though. Good pressure.
That was great play, Habib.
Yeah.
It was always going to the
It's
back,
always
wasn't it,
gonna carry
Stewie?
the
It was
back.
always going to the back.
What about
There
Kevin
and-
Warwick's effort, though? On
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Corrigan, because
Fantastic effort.
all he had to do was get a foot to it. It was a certain goal. Go on, Becky.
Gareth Buck kicks in, looks for Barry Delaney. Tremendous kick from the GDFL fullback of the year, and he finds Barry Delaney on halfback.
I think they're breaking down across here. They haven't got the players running into space here. They're kicking to a pack continuously, and that's probably all right in the half forward line where you've got Vilsons and Matheson and Co, but they're falling down across the centre in that area.
Well, umpire Nolan said it's mine. He comes in front of the Country FM commentary box to ball it up between wing and half forward. The Tigers attacking. They lead 3-2-20, Werribee one straight goal, 6 points.
Don't forget, Country FM is country football. 89.1 live kick-by-kick description here at St Albans GDFL Grand Final Day. And what a day it is. The sun's shining. The boys enjoying those green cans of Coke, and all's well here at St Albans.
Boundary throw in now. Stewart and Perkins. Stewart the front position. And gets it down the back. There's Clinton Shaw. He can't pick it up, though. It's bottled up again. Still out, though. Sean Stewart straight through. Loses the footy. Bernardo and also Stephen Gadd, the two number 40s. Thrown out to Kevin Connors. The umpire was standing there and didn't see it. Carl Smith. Can he get away from Corrigan? He's
good
tripped.
tackle.
Oh, no free kick play on the call. Roweth handball. He heard the call from Ronnie. Ronnie's going to... Oh, well, he lost it and he left it behind Morley. Now, Ronnie's missed it again. But it's coming to... Kevin Warwick over to Carl Smith. Carl Smith to settle things down. He goes from half back and goes towards Edgar and Winter. And Edgar and Winter see it over the boundary
Good
line.
decision by the umpire there. I think that at the time, the player was on his way down. He sort of fell over, and the player had gone and laid the tackle, and he obviously laid the tackle with the fall. And I think the player was already on his way down before the trip took place.
Thrown in, Stewart again in front, Perkins from behind, thumps it away towards Connors, thrown out again towards Gadd and Perkins. Perkins working very hard the second effort, the big man. Barry Delaney handball towards Edgar, taps it over to Stewart. Oh, breaks the tackle easy as you like, then doesn't break the second one and dropping the footy.
Great tackle, Kay Connors.
Smallest bloke on the ground, biggest bloke.
Yep.
Something like that.
Kevin Connors, the smallest bloke, runs away from the biggest bloke too. Goes towards centre half for poor kick, really. Height coming at it short. Does well. Height, does he take the mark? Oh, yes, he does. Good mark too. Glenn Height at centre half back.
Yeah, the fiery red-headed centre-half back, a lovely kick out wide. Beautifully weighted, looks there for Luddick. Couldn't take the overhead mark. Matty East doesn't mind, mops it up nicely. Looks up there for Butch Shaw. He's got a absolute paddock to steady and drive the ball in there looking for Corrigan. Nearly took the football. Hit his chest and bounced off. Now the Centurions a chance. Habib is there. His hand pass. Sharked by Gareth Buck. The star fullback.
He is.
The all-star
The
fullback.
GDFL Team of the Year fullback.
Yes.
Fantastic kick there, Peter, from Shaw. I mean, if your forwards are in front, they're the type of kicks you like to be on the end of.
You're not wrong. I think they're just breaking down across that half-forward line. Look, in all honesty, but Werribee Central's have kicked one goal. The ball's only been down there one time.
Yep, and their back line's working overtime, aren't they? Really, to keep Bannockburn to 3-2. They've had most of the play.
It'll tell. It'll tell in the last quarter.
Well, Stewart has big thump away to Luddick on half back flank, goes towards the outer side, and centre wing Spicer sees it over the boundary line, and there'll be a boundary throw in between wing and half forward with the Tigers attacking.
Well, there's 6 players forward of the half-forward line for the
Centurions.
There it is, Siren.
Well, there is
the first turn.
Yep, the siren for quarter time here at St Albans Reserve in the 1997 Geelong District Football League Grand Final. And at quarter time, Bannockburn 3-2-20. They lead Werribee Central's one straight goal, 6 points by 14 points on the LBW Charlie Accountants first quarter scoreboard.